can you hold me? If I'm hazy blue, can you help me?
Can you help me?
Feeling down, can you feel me? When I'm running low, can you charge me?
When I'm running low.
If it's love we're talking, you ain't really fronting. You do the walk and talk the talk, but drop it. You pull me back, you left me there, I'm falling. Stop, the hell are you going? I'ma hold me up, I'll get myself together. Who'd have thought without you I'd be better? Brace yourself, I'm ready for another. I said it once before. Without you, I'm sunlight, so bright, so right. Sunlight, so bright, so right. Sunlight, so bright, so right.
Unstoppable. So powerful. Just watch and see. Here it comes. Feel the energy. Here it comes. Feel the energy. Feel the energy. Here it comes. Feel the energy.
It's already day 3 here, would you believe it, in Puerto Portal's 52 Super Series Sailing Week. Complicated day in prospect. We're getting thunderstorms and rain coming through in the afternoon, so we're going on the water early, trying to get a race away round about midday. That's the ambition. Top of the table, well, so far Privezza have been ultra consistent. They've no score worse than 5th at the moment, but it's so competitive on the fleet, on the water just now. And we caught up with Santi Lang, who's a strategist working with Kie Para, the Argentinian dream team at the back of Privezza. No, Santi, things are going well for the Privezza team this week. What's changed?
Well, I think the team have done a really good job in making sailing the boat fast, and that's a big difference in this fleet. And yeah, for the moment it's 2 days that we've been lucky, or whatever you want to call it. You know, the things goes your way, and that makes a difference.
What have you done to the boat? Why is it quicker than last year?
No, I think little things, and I hope we keep it like that. You know, it's only 2 days and still a long way to go. And yeah, I like before, I think the team is working well and pushing hard, and sometimes you make an improvement.
Do you feel more comfortable here as a team in Puerto Portals?
Yeah, so far we are working really well. I am enjoying a lot being on board. I haven't been on board before, as you know, and yeah, I'm enjoying working with Kie and yeah, having Flipper on board and everyone. But that doesn't mean that the previous ones were not good.
No, of course. Tell us about your relationship with Kie. I mean, it's telepathic, is it? You guys have known each other for so long.
Yeah, we know for so long, and I'm really happy to see Kie as a tactician and trying to help him. He has helped me for many, many years, and so it's good to be on the other side.
Tell us about the relationship. How does it work in terms of you giving him information?
Yeah, to be a strategist is a really interesting job, because you have to make sure you keep the confidence of him, of what he's thinking, and so it's very good for me to know what he's thinking and trying to only give input what is necessary and not overload him, and not, you know, making sure when I say something different is the right thing.
How's that developing then? Presumably that still gets better every day, even though you've known each other for How many years?
For sure. You have to keep improving. For sure, you have to keep improving, and we talk every afternoon what could have done better. And yes, I hope we keep improving.
Tell us about the fleet then. I mean, it's incredible level.
Yeah, it's incredible now with the 14 boats, how much difference it makes to the game. And I think the level have come up in all the boats. That's why you have to be very, very careful to be happy with if you have two good days, because you know sooner or later will be a tough day. So I am very careful with all what I tell you, because you know this can be, the fleet is so tough, and if you are not inspired or you sail a little bit bad here or only bad starts, you know, could ruin your regatta very easily.
What's the next improvements for Provezza then?
Details, every single detail counts, and we need to keep improving every day.
You loving it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying so much, yes, for sure. That's for sure.
Good day. Thanks, Santi.
Thank you very much.
So that's Santi Lang, and now the other half of the partnership, Kie Para. So, Collie, things going the right direction. We're talking with Santi. What have you got together? I mean, how long have you worked together, known each other?
Ages. I can't remember now, but he was my coach when I was 13 on the Cadet Worlds, and since then, this was 40 long years old. Yeah, obviously we had a good relationship, long time one, and we've been on many projects together, and we are good friends, so it's easy to understand each other.
How does that work then on the boat? Obviously you've stepped up to be tactician, he's now your strategist. How does that relationship, the long-term relationship, help how you work on the water?
It's really nice because, as I said, we understand each other quite nicely, and obviously having a guy like Santi with 3 medals just painting the picture on what's going on for you to take the decisions, it's a privilege, and you'll take that every day. No, someone of his caliber helping you, it's something that you couldn't ask for more. No.
What about the boat? What have you done? And is it quicker than last year?
I think it's a lot on the confidence side. We haven't changed that much, honestly, but slowly we are starting to be more comfortable with it. We are enjoying being alongside each other, and we are improving by that way. No, we slowly are feeling more competitive, upwind and especially downwind, and we'll see how it goes and how will it get going for the next events.
Has it been a hard boat to learn then?
Yeah, we've been through some struggles, especially last year. Yeah, obviously after 2023 we built the boat and we had high expectations, and last year was a disappointment. And the mood, obviously, we are friends and we had a good relationship, but it's hard to keep the level up when things don't go your way. But so far seems like we are now on the flip coin and everything is turning into positives.
Tell us a little bit about that. When the mood is down, who lifts you, or how do you lift each other?
No, it's about a team, so everyone helps in that respect. We are a big team, as you know, even the ones that are not sailing on board are a big part of this. And yeah, it's really important because it's a long season and you have to go through bad moments. Of course, right now we are on the up, but we know how quickly things can change. So we are pretty happy at the moment, but really feet on the ground that we know this is not real, so to say. But so far we take it. We are enjoying.
What's the focus today?
Yeah, today is going to be another tricky day. You know, Palma in this time of the year is not the usual Palma, as much as it's nicer in the weather, but the race conditions are tricky. You know, it's going to be some thunderstorms coming. We have some offshore breeze today, so it's going to be about connecting the dots and having a good feel for the breeze.
Probably a silly question. You work in Spanish with Santi, or do you work in English?
No, we try as much to work in English, so the whole crew is on top of what we are thinking. But obviously, the little nuances that we have in Spanish, you know, on our little slang, helps a lot when in tight situations. So in tough moments, we switch to Spanish a little bit between us, but we try to keep the English for the whole team.
Swearing in Spanish?
We don't swear that much, honestly, but we keep it for ourselves.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Good. So that's Kie Para talking about consistency, going to be a difficult day. Let's look back to yesterday and the highlights. Second day here in Puerto Portals, first day great racing, two different race winners, Vayu on top, can they stay there? So race 3, much more the typical Palma sea breeze conditions, breeze coming in, starting round about 11 knots on the start line, building up to 15 on the second round. And drama for Trinity Racing, a technical problem means they can't start the race and have to sit it out. Alkedo start nicely off the pin end of the line, get out to the left, sailing clear breeze, lead round the top mark with Paprec round to second, sled in third, Alkedo extend out in front of Paprec. Top mark Paprec just closing out sled. Sled's losing places, having to go back round into the fleet. Down the final run, Alkedo have extended out to over 500 metres ahead. Paprec gets second, Pravetsa get third, and Pravetsa lead the regatta by 7 points. Race 4 will actually probably not quite as much breeze as the previous race on the start line, but it's a great start off the pin end of the line for Alkedo Vitamina, getting away nicely and up the left side, actually very even up the first part of the beat. Around the top market is Alkedo leading as they did in the previous race. Alkedo lead all the way around the course. Top of the second beat, the breeze starts to fade noticeably, and a nice call for the from Principal Race Officer Maria Torrijo. The race is shortened at the top mark. A second win of the day for Alkedo Vitamina. Second is Sled, and just on the finish line, Platoon Aviation getting third. So after 4 races, Ergen Imri's Pravetsa team leading on 14 points. Second on 20 is Alkedo Vitamina after their 2 wins, and Sled third also on 20 points. Welcome then to beautiful Bay of Palma and to Puerto Portals. We're reaching the midpoint of the regatta. Pravetsa on top now. Pravetsa have a big, long history of success and real disappointment on the Bay of Palma. At the moment, they're 6 points clear. It's looking like a complicated day. I'm joined in the studio with Timmy Kruger and on the water, Celia. Timmy, a complicated day. We've got this easterly or northeast by east breeze. It's going to be difficult.
Well, yeah, it will be difficult. It will become very, very difficult. This northeasterly breeze comes over the shore, comes over the land, and it's probably not so solid like a sea breeze, what we normally see in Palma or like to see in Palma. So it will be a lot of tension on the strategists and the tacticians to make the right calls out of this complicated situation.
Indeed, I mean, we talk about the normal in Palma. Increasingly, it seems like there is no normal, and that's the new normal, isn't it?
Exactly, at this time.
I mean, you know, the thing in the summer, especially now, is the water temperatures are getting so warm, we don't often see a really solid sea breeze. But this is going to be difficult. It's going to be shifty. So how will the afterguard set up for that, knowing that?
Well, I mean, the forecast.
It's very much head out the boat and watching to see
exactly.
and trying to predict.
It's having your head up and look towards the weather mark once the weather mark is laid and see where the pressure is and try to aim for the pressure. So this is probably not a game today of fully commitment to the left or fully commitment to the right. It can be anything, and I think you have to get off the blocks properly, start properly, but everybody will try that. I mean, on this level, everybody will do that. And then go as fast as you can and try to play those little shifts that might come.
Indeed, as I said at the start of the programme, no score worse than fifth so far for Pravetsa. They've been consistent so far. What's their game plan today?
Yeah, I think
you've been speaking to some of the guys, John Cutler and Flipper.
Exactly. I've been talking to Kie Para, and well, they were quite confident, basically, in what they want to do. And for them, I think it's especially the chemistry between Santi Lang and Kie Para to have the head out or the eyes out towards the weather mark and sense what's coming towards them. Really, I mean, it's I think when you talk to them on the dock, it's hard for them to say, we do this, we do that. They don't have a clear picture at that point themselves, and they have to go out and sense it. But funny enough, when I talked to John Cutler, the helmsman of Provezza, he said, what have you done with the boat? And he basically said, we have loosened the handbrake a little bit. So, so this is apparently what they do. And these boats, they're so fine-tuned, and it comes sometimes down to the chemistry of the people that are racing together on the boat.
That seems to be one of the things that, speaking with Collie in particular, he said, it's a lot to do with confidence, and if you don't have a complete confidence in your boat, feeling the boat is fast enough, then that can really affect how fast you actually sail the boat, I think.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's really a back and forth. If you always have strange thoughts about it, and you think, we are not so good in these conditions or that conditions, it settles in your mind, and then you might make the wrong decisions based on that, on these assumptions, and from the realistic point of view, these assumptions are basically wrong, because the boat is fast, the boat can go fast, and it's all about chemistry, working together, and having the confidence in each other and the boat itself.
And obviously, Kie Para, they're super discreet in terms of talking about the crew changes that they've made, saying that the guys that have been with them for years, Hamish Pepper obviously moving to Allegre, and Paul Westlake coming on board as the main trimmer. So a new tactician and strategist, as we saw at the back end of last season. Santi coming onto the boat, Collie was strategist. Interesting dynamic and setup there, because you might expect, with all his gold medals or all his Olympic medals and experience, winning the 52 Super Series as tactician with Azura, you might have expected Santi to come on as tactician and Collie to remain strategist. So that's an interesting dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is special, but maybe Santi feels more confident in the role of the person that collects the info and gives the info to Collie to make the decision.
Make the executive decisions.
Exactly. I mean, it's sometimes it depends, and people feel a lot better in certain roles.
I suspect that it's a little bit more collaborative, more than the traditional strategist looking big picture and tactician looking small scale boat on boat stuff. But we seem to be setting up for the start. Celia, how's it looking on the water?
Yeah, thanks guys. You can really feel it. Today has a very different feel to it out here in Palma Bay already. We got a much stronger offshore breeze this morning, and with the wind funneling down from the mountains around the bay, the race course is already looking more unstable and active than the previous day. So I think today is going to be all about those tactical decisions. It's flat water, so it should be absolutely fast. Yeah, I'm so excited to get racing.
Indeed, we're just just on 1 minute to go. At this stage, it looks like Provezza setting up towards the pin end of the line. Remember, this is an easterly breeze, so we're racing towards the shore, probably in towards the Arenal corner, for those of you who know the bay. And it's going to be a lot to do with the start at 40 seconds, Timmy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really...
Seems like the breeze might be a little bit right, because everybody's clustering towards the boat end of the line.
They're all pretty up. They're all pretty much on the boat end. And it's from the forecast. It's also... The breeze is supposed to be going a little bit right. It's supposed to tick sometimes a little bit right. And it's, as I say, hard for us to see from here where the pressure is now up the course. But... the guys have an idea, and they have looked up the course, and they have some thoughts where they want to be.
But 10 seconds to go. It's looking like a solid start from Provezza, probably. Also good start from Caballo Loco. Some boats well back. Trinity Racing well back. Allegre well back. Looks like Alkedo might have got off the line okay, but really quite a scrappy start, Timmy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I think Alkedo's over the line early. That's a disaster for the team, who are lying second overall. Good start for Provezza, though, Timmy.
Yeah, wonderful start. the point is, if you are the boat by the pin, the leeward boat, you have
got options.
You have better options, but you can go fast. You can accelerate. You can sail more or less free if you are that half boat length, or let's say these couple of meters ahead of the boat to weather of you. So you're not intimidated by anyone. You're not covered. You can just put the hammer down and go.
And certainly that seems to be what John Cutler and the team on board the Prevets are doing. Next boat up, I think, from the left is Teasing Machine. Gladiator, a little bit shielded, a little bit covered by Crioula. Crioula having a really good regatta so far by all standards. Maybe a No Way Back. Well, actually, No Way Back are quite good because they've got a nice lane there, Timmy, haven't they?
Yeah, they have a nice lane. They are pretty free to weather and also to the leeward side, so they can also get their pace up, similar to Provezza at the pin. So,
but it's percentage sailing as always from Terry Hutchison. Start near the middle of the line and hopefully let your boat speed do its stuff. Pretty much disastrous start for Trinity Racing by the looks of thing. Certainly very, very slow. It seemed like a lot of teams were a little bit caught off guard on that start to me.
Yeah, look, it's because we look from the pin and we couldn't really see how bunched up they were at the boat end. Maybe they didn't even made it into the line and cutting each other out. But the thing is that I'm surprised that some of the guys were so slow, basically, on the boat end side in the start. It's really I'm wondering a little bit.
Indeed, but Gladiator just dropping back very slightly, getting into the dirt of Crioula.
Yeah, they try to sail high and slow to pinch basically Crioula off, but then if Crioula has a little bit the upper hand and can accelerate, then then you don't gain, then you fall behind, and then you be rowed by the other guys.
Indeed, but good breeze. Few white horses on the water. Gladiators say not really getting the start they wanted and dropping behind. But Timmy, they're sticking with this left side, considering they're in a little bit of dirty air.
Yeah,
they're not really able to go there anywhere, though, are they?
No, exactly. That's now they have to cross quite far to get a clear lane again. So now but that is the problem. The longer you wait, the more you are hurt, and you are dropping behind. So this is also a critical moment, and I think they would take at some stage, but you have to get out of there. You can't live there.
What are we seeing in the right-hand side of the track from the tracker? It looks quite decent, I think, on the right.
As well, yes. I mean, they're quite even, and it will be interesting to see if Trinity, for example, comes back, because then it's a clear sign that with the start they had, that the right hand is working.
A little bit of a mountain to climb then for the Italian team, who are lying second on the leaderboard, as often is the case with the 52 Super Series. One day you're in the penthouse with a double win, double bullet day, and the next day you're in the outhouse, and really it's hard there for Alkedo. Did he need to push so hard on the line, or that was just a little bit of miscommunication perhaps?
Probably mistiming. I mean, it's sometimes just a second or 2 seconds, and you are lined up.
But that's indicative of the level you have to be operating at in this fleet, particularly starting. I think they were more in the middle of the line. If you're going to be there, then you have to be on the gun, on the line with max speed.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a matter of do or die. I mean, you gotta push hard, and there are sometimes risks to take, and sometimes it's just a second, and it's just maybe the bowsprit being over the line, but that counts, and therefore you have to restart.
Well, Provezza fifth at the moment. I think they'll take that as long as there's no big shift to the right. And they've just tacked onto port, going back, converging with the boats on the right. interesting watching that, how they're set up. A few words about Flipper then. Paul Westlake, the mainsail trimmer, you know him?
Yeah, I mean, he's also around so many years. You know, he's one of the.
Well, he was with Azura obviously for so many years when he won the circuit. So
he's one of the best mainsheet trimmers you can find, and he's also calm, collected, cheerful guy, very nice character. I think I'll take him on board.
Yeah, very interesting sense of humour though. But then he's an Aussie, he.
Exactly.
However, well, it's interesting. Teasing Machine, their French crew with Eric de Turkheim looking like they're leading at the moment. Now they had that huge disappointment of leading on day one, didn't they? And then they had a main halyard issue or something, wasn't it? Or the runner, wasn't it? They had a runner problem and had to retire. So maybe this time it'll stick for the French team.
Well, hope for them, because this mishap with a runner, it is painful. You know, it's something that can happen, and therefore, I mean, good if they stay there. You know, they're leading right now, but and the right hand side, yep.
It's looking quite decent. Celia, how's it looking? You're presumably on the left on our media boat. It's looking quite even. We're watching Prevezza going back on port. How's it looking for you? Just hopefully we'll get Celia in a few seconds, but it's interesting, Timmy, in that high shot. We're getting closer towards the land. You can see a breeze line. It's not going to be getting windier as we get to the top.
No. It looks. And
I think you'll probably find more right hand in the breeze as you get closer to the land.
And there seems to be some light spots in there as well. So the closer you get to the land, the more difficult it will become. Maybe smaller shifts and also pressure differences. So it's tricky, and in this case that the fleet is fairly spread out, you know, from right to left. It's quite a distance, and therefore, if there is a little bit of wind shift, you have quite a lot of leverage. So it's gaining or losing with a little wind shift. It's gonna happen.
Indeed, so we're watching Prevezza. Prevezza is certainly the best of the boats coming in from the left. I think, you know, its consistency is being regular, and although they've started on the pin end of the line, they got a good start. They've owned this left side, and in the top 4, top 5, as long as the right doesn't strengthen, I think it could strengthen in terms of the right hand shift, but I think the breeze will probably die from or get lighter from the right as you get closer to the land.
Yeah, we had, when we looked up wind, we could see a couple of light patches coming towards them, or they are sailing towards the light patches. They try to avoid them, but then on the other hand, I mean, sometimes you can't avoid it because you tack away from that light patch, and then there's some other funny situation occurring. And we have a spectator boat going right through the fleet. Or not a spectator, but a cruiser.
The cruising boat, yes, they're getting a very, very good view of the 52 Super Series up close and personal. Fortunately, we're not seeing that on the live, but there's a little bit of hand waving and gestures from the Crioula team, who I think are probably closest. But Crioula putting in their tack just now on board with Eduardo and Renato Plas from Brazil, our mid-fleet in the regatta. How do you feel about their position at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's still, you know, it's the first beat. You know, they are all so close. Teasing Machine is still leading from the right-hand side. Prevezza in 5th from the very left-hand side. So it's still touch and go.
It is still touch and go, and we know that it's going to be busy coming around the top mark. Yeah. You'd certainly prefer to be on the right in terms of owning the starboard tack. Maybe not wanting to come in late on port, as we've seen so many times, but let's see how it plays out. But for sure, that little cluster, that little trio of boats out on the right, Teasing Machine, Sled and Alpha Plus. Good to see Alpha Plus up there. Sean and Tina Kang's crew from the Hong Kong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of when you're so far apart, you know, left hand side, right hand side, the leverage of the shifts is just, it's heinous, you know. It's really it can change the picture a lot within a couple of minutes, and especially if you have also some light patches, but it's not that far to go to the weather mark, so and still, I mean, the boats are all pretty close together.
They are indeed. Just watching to see how Preveza sets up in this situation. Not able to get too far to the right.
No, because that way is basically blocked by all the other boats. So you gotta find your lane. Of course, they want to get closer to the right hand side because that's where the weather mark will be from their point. But you have to avoid the being covered or blocked by the others.
Indeed, so difficult moments for Preveza. Keep an eye on our regatta leaders on this mark rounding. Allegra there, Andy Soriano in much better shape for the moment in third. New afterguard there, of course, Hamish Pepper, Luke Patience, and the ever dependable Francesco Mongelli. Italian navigator has been with the programme for a long time. So once again, an afterguard which is finding their chemistry together. And this is when the chemistry really is tested on the close mark roundings, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But it looks at the moment like the boats from the right, you know, they have come through nicely. So they're looking good on the right. But and Teasing Machine, good on them, leading it right now. I mean, it's first beat and we're not even at the weather mark, but good for them. You know, everybody, that is the beauty of this TP Super Series, that you basically, everybody can be up there.
Indeed, just watching Allegra there as they have to do a little bit of a duck. You can see that the big blue logo for Setelar, for Alkedo Vitamina, have got themselves right back into this match. In the meantime, they were over the line, had to restart, got themselves up to 8th, and that's a platform, a foundation to work from, to me, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's if you start early, you turn back, you have to rejoin the fleet, and you are in the range of the middle of the fleet after that operation. That is pretty good.
Talk to me about this Preveza coming in from the up from the right now. It's, I hate to use the cliche, but it's 3D chess, isn't it? And
it is 3D chess.
It's all about picking your timing when you feel like you've got the gap and you can just get across, and then you have to time absolutely perfectly to get across. Watching Vayu, they're going back on port now. They've got a big duck, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they've got a long way to go down.
Exactly, but that duck can help Preveza probably a little bit, because Vayu was on top of Preveza, and we will see in a second how this basically worked out for Preveza. If it got even worse, or if the duck that Vayu had to do was helpful for them.
It's changing all the time, but Teasing Machine seem to have got themselves reasonably clear. They've got a lead of about 40 metres. We can see Platoon Aviation there in the mix, way out in that right side, no way back, trying to stay out of trouble. Alkedo Vitamina, coming back to 4th in this fleet from being over the start line. That's the hallmark of a team which can finish on the podium this year.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get through the fleet towards the mark, because then, you know, when they are so close, the boats, they're blocking each other, attacking on top of each other. You thought you have found your lane, but then somebody's tacking on you, then your lane is getting sour. Maybe then you have to tack out again. It's another maneuver, and you're probably not going in the direction you were supposed to go or wanted to go. So it is, as you just said, and it's three-dimensional chess, and you have to preempt, but sometimes you can't preempt. You know, it's impossible, because these other players, they also move their chess figures on the board. You know,
it's starting to even out a little bit. Certainly for the top three, you've got a nice little jump. If you look at the difference between Alpha Plus at 71 metres behind the leader, and Platoon Aviation almost 200 metres further back. So this race taking a certain shape and form for the moment, but we know in this shifty breeze anything can happen. On board briefly with Trinity Racing, they too were a little bit scrappy off the start line, but they've got themselves up to the middle of the fleet. Now then, look at Prevezza now in 12th.
Yeah, it's what we can say for this beat. I mean, the right hand had paid off. You know, the guys that started on the right hand side, they didn't look so flesh coming off the blocks, but the shift and the pressure was apparently favorable on the right hand side. So they've done well. You know, that was the right choice.
So Celia, just approaching the first windward mark of the day. We're watching Teasing Machine, the French team, coming in. How's it looking on the water?
Yeah, it's looking very, very good up here at the upwind mark. It's actually a bit lighter breeze than we had down at the starting line. It's great to see Teasing Machine coming back, leading the fleet after their little technical issue on day one. The crews are seeming quite locked in on staying focused and adaptable, as we have a lot of pressure differences. On the upwind, we saw a lot of tacking going on the left-hand side because we have a lot of gusts and pressures, which is creating a lot of wind shift. So the teams are focusing on getting the most out of that as they can.
Indeed, then Teasing Machine just round the windward mark with a small lead over the sled team, who will get second. And there's quite a gap between third and fourth, but let's wait. There's bow number 46 is Alpha Plus, the team from Hong Kong, Edo Stead calling tactics, Nick Egnock Johnson steering, and Ian Moore navigator. To say there's the gap now. The top three have got away there, Timmy, haven't they?
Yeah, they got away. I mean, they were the three boats that stayed the longest on the right hand side, and off they went. And now it's just muscling it out, and well, they will try to sail away from the fleet for starters, and then take themselves on, each other on, so to speak. I mean, but here we have a logjam coming up.
But Alkedo then over the start line early and got themselves up to fourth. That's a fantastic recovery.
That's pretty good.
The next two boats are a little bit slow. The real test for Joachim Sundberg then, the helmsman in the new to the 52 Super Series on Trinity. Paprec just coming round on the inside, looking like Gladiator. I think get closed out there, Timmy, didn't they?
Yeah. They had to do a turn, yes.
And we're seeing Allegri coming through. But Alkedo, Vitamina, Trinity Racing coming round in fifth. I think the protest was against them, or the protest claim was against them from Paprec, but I don't think there was a flag there, was there?
There was a flag from Ed from Trinity to Paprec, and I don't know if this was green flagged, or probably was green flagged, because they're still close together.
So no change anyway. Platoon Aviation coming round in eighth. Ninth, Gladiator. I think in the end, Prevezza getting round in 10th. So it's a little bit of an uphill climb just now for Prevezza. They've got quite a gap forward to Allegri. But the three leading boats are really launched.
Yeah, what we can see, it is, as Silja just said, I mean, it seems very, very puffy out there, with some little shifts that come from those different paths, and that makes it really, really hard to keep the boat on their toes, keep them fast, and also going in the right direction. You know, if the shift is against you, then it's sour grapes, isn't it?
Indeed, but great racing in this 14-boat fleet, the biggest fleet we've ever seen at the start of 52 Super Series season. Alpha Plus maybe just have sneaked through sled in the early part of this first downwind. Great racing conditions though. Maybe just a little bit grey overhead, but shards of blue sky, a little bit of sunshine, and we know it's going to be raining in the afternoon, so let's enjoy it while we can, Timmy.
Yeah, now that was still good racing. I mean, of course, it's tough conditions in that context, that with the breeze from this direction, it makes it really, really hard. And as we saw, these massive splits in the boats. And I'm actually surprised that the three boats in front, that they had split from each other.
Indeed. But what I'm finding fascinating is Trinity Racing really able to get themselves up into the top.
Yeah, after that start.
After that start, you know.
And Alkedo even more, you know.
When you look at the ambitions of the owner, Joachim Sundberg, you know, when you first hear it, you know, a year ago, and he's saying, well, I want to get to the front of the fleet, and you're naturally cynical or skeptical because we've all been in this game for so long, and here he is steering his boat with some of the best sailors in the world, 2 America's Cup winners on board, and it all looks quite doable, doesn't it?
It does. It is doable if you create within a team the right chemistry.
It was fantastic, you know, because I saw him first thing this morning. He's a fantastic character, and he said, another day, another series of opportunities.
That's the right attitude.
No, completely, and that's what he said this morning. That's an insight into his character, why he's doing it, and really, really positive guy. And that's what you need after a day like yesterday for them.
Yeah, when you have a dropout, you know, apparently he has this wonderful attitude. You know, if you fall off the horse, you have to get back on. You know, it's what else can you do, or shall you do?
Indeed, and I think Ed Baird, I spoke to him about how they dealt with it, and he said he was just telling the crew. I mean, obviously some of them have been through this before, and they've got longer careers, but others it's new to them, and he said it's just a part of the learning process. You have to deal with the big disappointments.
Definitely.
It's not all rainbows and unicorns.
It looks very nice for Teasing Machine right now. I mean, they're pulling away from Sled and Alpha Plus, so it's nice to see, you know, after their mishap with the runner they had on the first day.
Indeed, they're going quick, going in the right direction. Laurent Page is the tactician and project manager. Very, very experienced sailor. Goes way back with you, I think, doesn't he?
No, with Laurent, I never sailed. I sailed with Damien Yale, the main sheet trimmer, and with Fred Bruce, one of the grinders. And but, you know, within this fleet, when you sail for a long time, or you're a long time in this kind of game, then you have mates on each and every boat, basically.
Indeed, but Laurent goes back to America's Cup.
Yeah, I know.
And indeed to Round the World Racing.
Yeah.
He's got a great pedigree in demand, and obviously doing a great job with the Teasing Machine team. Their season last year was punctuated, or their main focus last year was the the Admiral's Cup, and this 52 Super Series was their training ground, as it were. They just came in, bought the old Gladiator, and thought they'd give it a go, and clearly, even though they've been towards the back of the fleet at times, they've got ambitions of getting further up, and I think Eric's really loving. This is new to him. I think he did a little bit when he was much younger, but they're an offshore team.
Yeah, they've done a lot of offshore in the past, and with various other boats and transatlantics, etc., and they were quite successful with that too.
Indeed. Anyway, Sled holding second, having a battle with Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus going out a little bit more to the left.
It is also, as it's tricky upwind, it's as much tricky downwind. You know, when you're sailing in such shifty and puffy conditions. You know, if you get a puff downwind, it helps you so much, and sometimes you can, get more ground for you than on the upwind legs. So a little puff, you can sail lower, you can soak down, you can sail more directly to the bottom gate, and you can just accelerate. It sometimes changes the picture completely. But these boats, you know, they are so highly tuned and so, how shall I say, so vibrant. You know, they are so lively, and every little tweaking on the sheets and every proper trim on these boats, make them really go fast. You know, they accelerate like there's no tomorrow.
So Celia, it's looking good on the water. The breeze is strengthening as you come down the track towards the leeward gate.
Absolutely. Now on the left-hand side, we actually have a bit of a pressure coming down, and you can see Platoon, Vitamina, and everyone on the left side just absolutely flying. Also, it's going to be very exciting to see how the head of the fleet is going to end up on the bottom gate. It's looking very close between the three boats, but the racing is absolutely on fire. This is super, super, super exciting.
It does indeed, but the top three still have that little buffer, little cushion between Sled and Alkedo Vitamina. And Platoon Aviation not too far behind. Our regatta leaders, I hate to say, they're at the back of the fleet. We've seen it before, unfortunately. They're actually quite a long way back.
Yeah, they are. But this is what can happen. Unfortunately, it's a bit of an
emotional roller coaster, isn't it?
It's an emotional roller coaster. It's and that really is the moment when the perfect chemistry between the guys on board within the team is paying dividends. You know, if no one gets grumpy or twist and shout or God knows what, because you can just move forward by, focusing on what you have to do. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But it especially happens in such highly tuned fleets like the TPs.
Indeed, but it looks like the small gain to that left side for Alpha Plus, credited with the lead just now, just overtaken Teasing Machine.
Yes.
And Sled.
Those little shifts and pressure differences, as I said, can make a massive difference if you are in that little puff. And from the drone shot, when we look upwind, I mean, it looks quite complicated when I think of the coming upwind, you know.
Yeah, but you can see that definite breeze line.
Yeah.
Out to that high right side.
There's some holes there.
I mean, and again, it's interesting when you see that high shot, you really get a picture of the topography of the land behind the race course. That there's definitely an acceleration zone there between the high land, and you've got a long flat valley all the way up to the north of the island.
Yeah.
So that will channel the breeze. But watching then actually Teasing Machine round in first for the moment. Alpha Plus on the left-hand mark, but pretty close. Teasing Machine on the right-hand mark, I think, going down the right-hand mark. Alpha Plus and Sled. Alpha Plus through Sled. Yeah,
that depends, you know. I mean, that will also help now Teasing Machine a little bit, because Sled is, you know, living on the hip of Alpha Plus, what is not so favorable. It's hard to stay there. It's a painful situation. So, and Teasing Machine can roam free basically on the right hand side. But then also, is the right hand side the better side, or is it getting lighter up the course on the right hand side?
Interesting call, but certainly right worked for Teasing Machine.
Yeah.
In fact, all three worked the right early on.
But not necessarily all the time.
No, definitely not. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting rounding here. You've got an early drop from Trinity coming into the right-hand mark relatively slowly. Meantime, Alkedo Vitamina coming in with speed or faster on the left-hand mark. Platoon Aviation behind them. Really, in these conditions, it's important to come into the leeward gate with some pace and try and keep the kite up for as long as possible. I think maybe Trinity a little bit conservative, but they're going to the right-hand mark.
I mean, these TPs, they can push really close towards the mark with a kite, with their
magic wheel.
Yeah, with their magic wheels, with their drop line systems. You know, the kite has just been sucked inside the boat, and you're clean and clear, and there's no kite in the water or drama by the maneuver by dropping the kite. So this is all on these boats very cool to see, and therefore you can push so hard.
So Allegra in 9th place, Gladiator 10th, Caballo Loco in 11th, 12th is No Way Back, 13th Vayu, and unfortunately 14th Provezza are a long way back, Timmy, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we probably couldn't see it properly on the drone footage, but somewhere they lost it. They got left behind, unfortunately.
So that's the tough moments for the team that were leading, have been so consistent so far, but that is the nature of this competition, and unfortunately it's what both Santi and Kie Para mentioned and said, you know, it's so early in the regatta, everything can happen.
Yeah, now it will be really interesting to see if the right hand pays again
for Teasing Machine.
And we have Sled going to the left hand side and Alpha Plus joining Teasing Machine going to the right hand side. But that will be really interesting to see how this pans out. But there are like holes and soft patches up the course, and that makes it difficult for us. Sometimes with a drone it's easier to see those light patches, and but the tacticians and strategists, they are just above water height, and sometimes it's a bit more complicated to look up the course and see the patches straight away.
Indeed, looking like Sled maybe leading from the left just now, but it could be transient. But
could be transient.
A quick question coming in on our social media. Remember, if you've got any questions at all, do post them on our social networks. We've got Pat Jolly saying, could you please tell us who the tactician and strategists are on Sled this year? Well, as far as we know, it's same as previously. Francesco Bruni is a strategist working with Murray Jones. Navigator Andrea Vicentini. No change in the afterguard on Sled. Finished, of course, in second last year, so they've made no changes other than we think that probably Adam Bischel steering. We haven't seen for sure, haven't been close enough to the boat, but they're going well at the moment. Good question, Pat Jolly, at just the right time, leading I think by a few metres, got themselves through Teasing Machine for the meantime. Other question was whether Terry Hutchison was from Quantum was part of the deal. I think we were talking with Terry yesterday, and he was very, very happy to continue with the boat, continue with a new programme, new challenges, same as there are for Ed Baird, and really loving a new challenge, and glad that the Quantum Racing boat is going forward with a new life, with an owner who's really keen to be successful. 11th at the moment. They've got food for thought, plenty of scope to get better, and it's only day 3 of their programme, so it's not going to happen overnight, is it, Timmy?
No. It will take a while, and also, you know, if you have like a new owner driver, and that really counts for Trinity as well, and for No Way Back too. As a tactician, you try to keep these guys out of really complicated situations, because it takes time to learn to deal within this fleet with these complicated situations, whether it's a really boat-to-boat incident when you're really close. So I think this is what I sense what Ed Baird, for example, is doing. He's trying to sail in clear lanes and stay out of trouble, and really try to give the helmsman the confidence to sail the boat fast. And this is basically what you have to do.
So Celia Breeze moving around a little bit as we get closer to the land. It looked like Sled were leading momentarily, back to Teasing Machine, but it's all very close, isn't it?
it's super, super, super close. We're in a bit of a lull at the moment, and what we're seeing out here is as soon as the pressure comes down from the left side, it's also bringing big shifts. So the crews need to be really locked in and very focused so they can benefit as much from these pressure differences as possible. Now we're seeing the 3 first boats starting to close together, and it's going to be very interesting to see which side is going to play out to be the best one for this upwind. Yeah, but the racing is beautiful. It's a beautiful day here in Palma Bay.
It is indeed. What's your assessment there? We saw an early advantage to sled coming up this beat, but it's not looking quite as good. The pressure, I think, is more on that high right or the right of the fleet with Teasing machine, and probably less so Alpha Plus. Just looking at the tracker, then sled seemed to be getting a little bit of a knock for the moment. But I think it's more about pressure to me, isn't it?
I think it is about pressure. It's not, those shifts we see, they do come with the pressure. If you have less pressure, you have to accelerate a bit more. So you have to get the bow down, and you have to try to keep the pace. So it's basically, how shall I say? It's like a velocity shift. You just the boat has to cope with this less breeze, and therefore it's kind of a shift. But I don't think we see like 10 or 15 degree shifts. But I think it's rather pressure differences.
Good battle between Trinity Racing and Alkedo Vitamina for 4th and 5th. Platoon Aviation not too far behind. Once again, though, for me, Crioula, I think kind of one of the revelations of the regatta so far. I mean, they're not setting the heather on fire in terms of the top 3, top 4, but they're very consistent to me, aren't they, so far?
Yeah, they are very consistent in the middle of the fleet, but sometimes also, you are blocked, you can't find your proper track, and you have to do 1, 2, 3 techs more than the others, and that's why this fleet is spreading out so much. And then you are I wouldn't say left behind, but Crioula is in 7th right now, so they're still in striking distance, but they have to fight hard for it to stay there.
But they're consistently middle of the fleet.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
They've not had any shockers so far.
No, it's true.
So credit to them. Not one of the big teams, not super well resourced, but a strong team that have been together for many years. And our top 3 boats now gravitating towards the left side, converging a little bit more, but certainly Teasing machine now can keep their pursuers in check a little bit, can't they?
Yeah. You got to go towards them at some stage, and to avoid that they disappear to one or the other side. And I guess, well, I was just about to say they're going to take now to just go with them, and sled will also take at some stage to just go with them, because a third, to keep a third is better than than the wheels coming off.
That's right. Trinity Racing through Alkedo Vitamina for the moment.
But it's quite impressive to see, the leading 3 boats, how they opened the gap just on the first beat. They hit the right side. They had probably a little bit more pressure, so they made the jump, and here they are, and now they are just, bringing it home basically.
On board briefly with Platoon Aviation. They're making Alkedo tack Platoon Aviation on starboard. Alkedo were on port, but it's really close in the middle of the fleet. That's just what we keep saying. And I think going back to Crioula, actually they've lost a little bit, but I think they seem to do quite a good job. And I spoke to Sam Albrecht, tactician, at the weekend, and he was saying their objective really is to try and stay clear of trouble and really let the boat work. However, it seems like the right is strengthened for the main group, so some changes, but unfortunately no change for the better for Pravetsa, still in 14th.
No, but if you are at the dead end of the fleet, then it's really hard to find your way through, because in the end, all passes you can imagine, they're all blocked and taken already. So you just have to try to find a nice way to wiggle through and try to make your way up and hope for the best. But of course, if you're so far behind, then it's complicated. It's very, very complicated in this high-level fleet.
Anyway, it's between the sled. So there's the regatta standings, projected regatta standings after 5 races at the midpoint. If positions stayed the same through the finish line, it would be sled leading. Sled, of course, my tip since day one for the regatta leaders. Alkedo, Vitamina in second. Provezza dropping to third. Platoon Aviation a respectable fourth, ahead of Gladiator, though on the same points tally indeed. Alpha Plus in sixth. Trinity Racing in seventh. Crioula eighth. No Way Back ninth. Vayu 10th. Paprec 11th. Allegra 12th. Teasing Machine 13th, and Caballo Loco in 14th. So I say midpoint of the regatta after this race finishes. Looking good for sled at the moment, Timmy.
Yeah, it does. It's really, for them, it's also just important to bring that third place. If it stays the third place, just bring it home, and sail a fast downwind. It will be interesting to see if these boats split again downwind, because they did that on the last downwind we've seen. That the three didn't stay close together, so that'll be also probably pressure related then, and the pressure is king. You gotta go to the pressure, and you gotta try to find it. But we can also see now that there's a lot more overcast building, so the weather is changing, and maybe these clouds, they will also sponge up the gradient pressure and create even a funkier weather pattern.
Let's be super positive, though. The sun will be out in the afternoon.
No, they have to deal with it. This is what it is.
Of course, I'm only joking, but that's the forecast. The forecast was for rain clouds coming in and rain in the afternoon. So if we get one good race away, all credit to our race management team on the water. But it's Eric de Turckheim, the French team on Teasing Machine, coming round the top mark ahead of Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus changes to their boat through the winter with a new keel, new bulb, I think new rudder as well.
Yeah, they got a new package, new underwater package.
Full new package, yeah. I think, from Artemis. So seems to be working for them at the moment. Sled, no significant changes to their setup. Did a lot of work with their sail package and their rig tune. Still waiting to hear from Timmy what that magical secret sauce is, but we've got 2 days left.
On the rig tune, basically Murray Jones, he's the master of it all, and I think he keeps a very low profile and keeps his lips sealed regarding the magic he has probably played to that rig setup.
I think you're making excuses there, Timmy, but you've got one job between now and the end of the regatta.
All right then.
I don't know, but interesting, because I know roughly what they've done, but it'll be interesting to find out.
I think they sail these boats for such a long time, and what they do is really, you wouldn't imagine, but they just turn all these little knobs just a little, not even a quarter turn, just an eighth of a turn. And that sometimes works wonders.
Anyway, Trinity Racing round in fourth, Platoon Aviation in fifth. Respectable for the 3 times world champions. Moving up the leaderboard step by step. Then Alkedo Vitamina ended up behind the German flag team. Allegra next.
That is impressive of Alkedo. It's a great comeback, to be honest. After an early start, that's pretty good. So they have all.
Gives you a good shot of the lineup coming into the market. It's a little bit more separated, a little more spread out.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to the shore, I must admit. You know, it's pretty close to Arenal where they're racing.
Just almost in front of the airport. The airport just a little bit to the left. But spectators on the beach, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, but it seems like a right-hand shift because they all jibes, not jibe set, but they early jibed. So the breeze seems to be in the right.
A long way in there for Provezza and Caballo Loco. This is really dispiriting for Ergen Imri and his team. They will have to bounce back in the next race.
Yeah.
However, 'twas ever thus in the 52 Super Series, and from that perspective, you give high marks to Don Cowie and the sled team. So far, so good. I mean, that 9th that they have was not really of their volition, was it? It was kind of wrong place at the wrong time in some respects, but you know, it cost them big, didn't it, when they were taken out a little bit by Paprec?
Yeah, that was painful, but as we can see now, I mean, they have a good opportunity and the right boat speed to come back any time. Yeah, light air.
It's getting lighter, isn't it? Celia, it's getting lighter, isn't it?
It's so on and off out here. It's absolutely crazy. We just were in a lull, but now it seems to be a bit of a pressure coming down on the left side again. You can see some boats are starting to jibe to follow it down. The 3 first boats has really gained a lead, and it's neck on neck. Yeah, it's crazy. It's beautiful.
Crazy and beautiful.
That's me. Trinity Racing, yeah, all credit to them. They had a fairly lackluster start, but they've got themselves up to 4th. Platoon Aviation in 5th, Alkedo, Vitamina in 6th. Really everything to play for. That lead is 70 metres though for the French team. Can they bring home the race win that they lost on day one?
Well, we at least wish for that. It would be great. It would be great. I mean, it's still not over, but
they're being pursued hard by Alpha Plus.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sean and Tina Kang's team, full of some very, very respectable names in sailing, aren't they?
Yep, definitely.
But it would be sled leading after this race. Supposing the points stay the same, Provezza dropping. But it's not terminal for Provezza by any manner of the means. But this is one of the things in this record-sized fleet of 14 boats. You end up behind, and it's real punishment. Meantime, Alpha Plus. Battle of trimmers at the moment, isn't it, Timmy?
It's a battle of trimmers, and it's going fast, straight line. I mean, they have all clear air, and it's just boat speed. You know, it's boat speed and just trying to catch the other guy. But the distances are, they are. I think Teasing Machine looks quite safe, to be honest. They had a bigger lead on the other downwind, yes, and Alpha Plus is quick downwind as well. So as I say, it's not over, but we have seen other finishes as well that were pretty close.
But you think Teasing Machine can do this?
Oh yeah, I think they should be able to bring it home.
All French crew, 100% French. Eric de Turckheim, the owner-driver, Laurent Page, the tactician, Émeric Chapelier, the navigator, Damien Niel, the main trimmer, Laurent Bailly on the jib trim, Paco de Poutre, downwind trimmer. Antoine Tuillier is in the pit, Frederic Bruce is the grinder, other glounder, Pierre Launen, Christian Pontois, runner and strategist, Quentin Bouchercourt, rider and boat captain is on board. Elliot Michael in the mid-bow and Jérôme Taillet in the bow. So that's the team on board. Teasing Machine, Alpha Plus pushing hard as well. The two black boats head to head. Alpha Plus, some big well-known names in the sport on board. Sean Kang is the strategist and owner. He's been with the series now, I think, for 3 years. Craig Monk is an America's Cup winner, and as you pointed out yesterday, he could have easily, or he had the skills to steer an America's Cup winner, as well as being a grinder and a Finn gold medalist. Steve Trebich is on the runners, previous project manager. Ian Moore, winner of the Ocean Race, America's Cup navigator, done everything in his career and sailed regularly with Ado Stead, who's a past 52 Super Series winner and world champion. Nick Egnock Johnson is on the helm, young Kiwi match racer. Rod Dawson needs no introduction on the main. Luke van der Kamp, youngest project manager in the fleet. Zach Hurst on trimming with Alex Goff. Phil Clapp, grinder. Brian Say is in the pit, the American Kiwi. James Mitchell in the mid-bow, and Pedro Mas from Spain on the bow of the Alpha Plus. So it's super close. Breeze, I think, still getting lighter.
It looks like it's getting lighter towards the finish line, and we have now the classical positioning. Alpha Plus started to jibe, they were coming in, then Teasing Machine was going a little bit further to lure it on their line and jibe there. So now it's just basically straight in. But this is basically how you're gonna defend or how you're gonna cover. Yeah, but Alpha Plus seems quick, eh?
Yeah.
They're putting a bit of pressure on Teasing Machine, but it should be enough. I mean, it should be enough for Teasing Machine to bring this home.
I think it's well deserved for Teasing Machine if they can do it. Sled poised in third just now at the moment. This third would give them the regatta lead. But you can see that's a great shot, just showing how far fourth place is behind the black and blue kite of Trinity Racing. The podium for sure in this race is decided.
Yeah, it's amazing how spread out the fleet is, and it is pressure. When you are in the pressure, you can stay in the pressure, then you're home.
So first race win of the year then for Teasing Machine, kind of long awaited, and they were leading until they had a runner problem on day one. However, all credit to the French team on Teasing Machine. Alpha Plus will come through for second, their best results so far this season, and Sled will get through in third and take the regatta lead. But a really interesting race, good calls made on the first upwind, good starts from Teasing Machine, Alpha Plus and Sled, all followed the same formula, Timmy, really, didn't they?
Well, they did. All three boats, they were, finding the right breeze, so to speak, on the right-hand side. I mean, it wasn't so clear 100% from the beginning, but I mean, it's difficult. I mean, if we look at the shot now and we look at the red kite back there at the horizon, I mean, I guess it's probably Gladiator, but it's far away. It's
Indeed.
A big distance.
So here we go then, Teasing Machine. I'm going to be interested to see how they celebrate, whether they're grumpy French or low-key Kiwis. There we go. Actually, Eric de Turkheim, they're happy with that.
They're happy.
They have been in the basement many, many times in this fleet, so they really deserve that. And great to see the smiles. Alpha Plus coming through in second, and in fact, in the end, the white hull of Sled not too far behind.
No, it's good. That was good.
I'll give you €10 for every high five on board, Sled. Go on. Go on. Not one. There you go.
No, don't cow it. Not done.
That's the Kiwis, and it is. There you can see Adam Bichel steering.
No high fives.
No high fives. No smiles. They're Kiwi to the core. and Trinity Racing are ice cool Swedes.
It's impressive that they, after that start, it didn't look good in the start at all, and it's quite cool that they come in fourth here.
I mean, we think this boat's quick, don't we?
I would say it's quick.
You know,
Yeah, I would say it's quick. It's.
I mean, there's nothing empirical that we can draw on, but if you compare the early days of the Platoon and Allegra when they were freshly launched, obviously so much more intelligence, so much more information brought to bear in the design and the development of this boat.
Yeah.
They learn from the Allegra and the Platoon,
Yeah.
in particular from the Botin family that was created
Absolutely.
then, from that generation of boat.
Third boat out of the mold.
So, you know, credit to the teams for the development, but this boat does look, it looks fast though, and massive credit to them. They've done a great job in this race.
It does. It looks fast, and it's also what I like quite a lot is the way Ed is basically bringing the boat across the course. You know, he's positioning the boat very often out of trouble. You know, stay away from the other guys, go fast, and let the owner driver Joachim Sundberg drive the boat properly.
A new day, new opportunities was how Joachim Sundberg greeted me this morning, and they've taken every opportunity in this race. A little bit late over the start line, or a little bit scrappy, but really built on passion, built on self-belief, and it's really nice. Just the way he thanked the team. There's no high fives, but he did thank everybody round about him for their work, and that's the hallmark of a great leader. He's into his team building. Built successful businesses, been successful in sport, enjoys his ice hockey, but he really doing a great job and fascinating character. Then Andrea Lacorte's team coming through the finish line now. Sixth place for them. Could have been worse.
I think Harm on Platoon is also relieved.
Yeah, I think relief is the absolute
With
key.
the fifth, they'd be happy for today.
Anyway, we're seeing a nice close finish with No Way Back coming in. Just the big bumblebee on the kite going to sting Gladiator at the last moment. But all credit to the black and yellow team wearing the colours of Holland now. But No Way Back coming through the fleet. They were quite deep earlier on, but getting 7th, middle of the fleet. Gladiator get 8th. Crioula 9th. Paprec will get 10th. Late charge coming in from the right downwind. Super fast. I think that's Allegra, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Allegra.
I think they'll still just lose out to Vayu at the other end of the finish line. I think Vayu would... Oh, actually Allegra getting it according to our tracker, but never. It's not always true. Same timing, maybe a second in it, but we'll wait for Maria's official ranking. So Vayu come through in 12th. Pravetsa 13th, and Caballo Loco learners on the circuit, the rookies from Brazil on the former Phoenix in 14th. So it may not be a perfect Palma sea breeze conditions, but fantastic sport. Really action from start to finish, action from front to back of the fleet, and nothing secured until the finish line, but a good win for Teasing Machine Timmy.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. It's great. I mean, in these complicated and difficult conditions that they were pushing through, and they must have been quite, I mean, lucky. Yeah, what is luck? I mean, I think they were quite confident going to the right-hand side, pushing out there, and they found that breeze, and they found enough pressure to make it across and lead the race. I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, it's really, really good for that team. And yeah, I was enjoying watching it. It was great. They've done good.
So there we go. Navigator on board is Émeric Chapelier, who's a well-known Class 40 sailor, solo racer, as in much the same mould as Cedric Chateau, who steers Paprec. really super adaptable French racer, as so many of them are.
Yeah, it's really, to be honest, France has such a vast amount of very, very good racing sailors, offshore and inshore. It's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing.
Trinity 5 platoon, 6 Alkedo, 7 Norway back, 8 Gladiator, 9 Crioula.
I think there's only the French really in the fleet who you could imagine going off and sailing one of these solo. And Loic Perron perhaps best of all. But
if Monsieur Coudrier is sailing Gitana 18 on his own, I mean, you can also sail one of these on your own.
Anyway, great to see Sled taking the top of the table. And they've been super consistent, haven't they, Timmy?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, of course, they got caught out by Paprec yesterday, but this is also part of the game. There was no rule infringement. It was just a bit cheeky. and otherwise, they would have been also amongst the top 4 boats, or top 3 even then.
So official finishing order: Teasing Machine, Alpha Plus, Sled, Trinity, Platoon, Alkedo, No Way Back, Gladiator, Crioula, Paprec, Vayu, Allegra and Provezza and Caballo Loco. So a difficult race, Timmy, for Provezza. What do we think happened? They ended up that first upwind. They were on the left and got out of there. We'll come back to you in just a wee second. So there's some fascinating statistics for you to talk about, Timmy.
No, it's interesting to see. I mean, it's really the maximum speeds. Yes, of course, they were created downwind, so there was enough pressure. I mean, 16.7 knots downwind. It is quite quick. But these boats are quick, even in such light conditions. I mean, it was also, I guess, 15 knots a breeze. But the distance travelled is also quite interesting to see. I mean, No Way Back did quite a big distance travelled, and as you can see, the boats in the middle of the pack, or the middle of the ranking, they have done more maneuvers than the others, because this is what happens, when you are locked in, when you have to get out of something or tack out of a situation or jibe away from another boat. So the middle of the pack, they will have always more maneuvers, and the guys in the front.
Interesting to see Caballo Loco doing 14 manoeuvres.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. At the end, when you're on your own, you're the last one, then you can also sail fairly free.
Yeah.
But in the middle, that's where everybody is.
It's move and counter move, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where everybody move and counter move. That's the thing on the statistics, and that's what you can see here. When you fight back. When you fight back like crazy, then also you have, like Provezza, 23 maneuvers.
Indeed. But it's interesting, though, the maximum speed is exactly the same for Teasing Machine at 16.7, for No Way Back at 16.7, and Trinity Racing also at 16.7. I mean, that's the maximum speeds are so much different to the boats that are doing 15, a knot slower.
Yeah, a knot slower.
And anyway, let's have a look at the regatta standings. As I say, we're at the midpoint of the regatta, and it is Sled, Takashi Okura's team, in first place on 23 points, 3 points up on Alkedo Vitamina on 26 points, Provezza on 27 points, Gladiator poised in fourth on 30, Platoon Aviation 31, No Way Back on sixth and 34 also for Crioula, 35 for Alpha Plus, Trinity Racing in 36, 42 for Vayu, 45 Paprec, 52 for Teasing Machine, Allegra in 53, and Caballo Loco on 60. But a log jam of points really between fourth, you would have to say, Timmy, and eighth. That's the moving area at the moment. It just takes a couple of good results to finish or get up to fourth. A couple of bad results, you can very easily be down in ninth and 10th. That's going to be the key area. But Sled, really nice and consistent other than that ninth. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We should, hopefully, fingers crossed, go straight into race number 6, second race of the day. But stay tuned. We'll join us again shortly.
Here it comes. Feel the energy.
At Palm Beach Motor Yachts, we build for those who lead. This comes from our history in competitive ocean racing, where advanced technologies and a spirit to win shape our every advantage on the water. We carry those lessons into every motor yacht that we design and build, using efficient and balanced hulls to deliver performance that feels effortless. Paired with meticulous craftsmanship and engineering, it creates a quiet confidence you can sense the moment you take the helm. Palm Beach Motor Yachts, from ocean racing innovation to cruising perfection.
chance to share in this romance. I promise I ain't fooling around. Girl, it's something good when we're feeling higher than the ceiling. My worst they couldn't bring me down. But there's one thing that I want to know if we can get to whenever you can come around. Oh baby, can you it's like we got the world in the palm of our hands. Oh baby, won't you it's whatever you fancy, it's my command. Baby, if tonight is the only time that you can hold me, well let's make plans for two. And baby, we can dance the whole night through. And baby, we can dance the whole night through.
We're dancing on moonlight cosmic. All I wanna do, your loving is so hypnotic. Ooh, colliding all night, can't stop it. Diving in a summer blue. Your loving is so hypnotic. Ooh, sweat so hot when I shock my body. Come on, come alive. If you want a good time, you got me. Lights, camera, action. Make you wanna love somebody. Drowning in these lights, fever colored high. Do you like it like that? Better heart, never beat, beat, beat so fast. Drop it up, down, back. Falling like a domino. We're dancing on moonlight cosmic. All I wanna do, your loving is so hypnotic. Ooh, colliding all night, can't stop it. Diving in a summer blue. Your loving is so hypnotic. So hypnotic. So hypnotic. There's no stress, having one too many of a drink like you. If you want a good time, come get me. This beat is heaven. If you wanna toss a penny in a fountain. so fast, drop it up, down, back. Yes. Falling like a domino. We're dancing on moonlight cosmic. All I wanna do, your loving is so hypnotic. Colliding all night, can't stop it. Diving in a summer mood. Your loving is so hypnotic. So hypnotic.
Here it comes. Feel the energy. Energy.
Well, moody skies this afternoon over the Bay of Palma. We're in the up towards the corner, or the Arenal corner of the Bay of Palma. Breeze has been blowing offshore and doesn't seem to be much change in terms of the wind direction. Celia, it's looking quite moody and difficult. Breeze seems to be okay in terms of wind strength, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting a bit cold here out now, Andy. We're quite breeze on at the moment. It's looking quite nice, looking up the race course. But we also have some rain coming in behind us. We got some dark clouds over us, sitting over us in the race course right now. And yeah, everything can happen. I think we will have another tactical race. Getting ready for it. Super exciting.
Super exciting, but the wind strength is probably what, 13 knots, maybe? About that? I would reckon so, Timmy, isn't it? Probably 13, 12, 13 knots, maybe
I
a little
think
bit
so.
more.
I would expect they're all on their mediums, and it's just, in the 13, 14, 15 knot range. And again, I mean, as Celia just said, the clouds are forming, and if we look at the shot, we can, I think, also see already a rain in the back there, unfortunately. But it will be another tricky race, because this cloud will affect these clouds. They will affect the breeze, and it will probably become again very, very shifty, and with a lot of pressure differences. So food for thought for the strategists and the tacticians to decide the right track for the boats.
Sled leading after that race. Can they maintain the same level of consistency? We've got two coming up to 2 minutes to go. How do we think the start line looks to me?
It's tricky, as I say. They would have looked up the course, and they have decided their side already, the side they want to go. In the last race, we saw that they decided, or the boats they were leading decided for the right-hand side of the course. So it will be, it will be really interesting to see. And by the way it's been bunching up now, it seems...
Breeze in the right again, isn't it? It looks like, in fact, if anything, more right, just looking the way that the bunch is setting up.
Yeah.
Once again, of course, not everybody can start at the committee boat end of the line. Looking at Trinity Racing, Ed Baird setting up to try and not get too much in the traffic and work on the boat speed. Crioula choosing the left side again. We know that they like to sail in their own space, as it were, trying not to get into the traffic. Very top end of the line at the committee boat end of the line. How are things looking to me?
Yeah, I mean, they're really bunching up there. It's a lot of boats bunching up, and even less than a minute to the start, we have some boats that are way over ley line. Like Gladiator, they are far out there, and it's really hard how they're going to make it.
Indeed, we're going to have to watch that, because we're at the pin end with the drone shot. Crioula setting up now. Can they get away and get across? But for me, certainly the breeze is looking like it's in the right. And we can see Alkedo, Vitamina in that group. Very, very close. I mean, everybody's bunched in the top third of the
the crazy thing is there are so many boats above the ley line of the committee boat, and I don't know how they want to get down to the line and start. I mean, that'll be quite tricky. But a lot of them accelerating now. They're coming down to the line and they try to find a hole, but then finding a hole.
We've certainly got two boats behind the line, one boat right back. Who's that? That looks
There's
to be...
Caballo Loco is behind the line, and it's also Alpha Plus on the weather side of the committee boat. So they're starting late. You know, they come in very, very late.
But Crioula starting off the pin end of the line. We've got just above them Trinity Racing. Then it's a really tight group with Platoon Aviation. I think it's Vayu, Prevetza there, sandwiched a little bit between two boats. Then Sled, I think, looking to see the boats that are going the early right. Will actually Allegra just very slow, having made their late tack. I think bunched off by No Way Back. Have got a solid start. They're well forward on Paprec. Not going to be hurt by Paprec at the moment, but it's a little bit of a drag race for them.
Yeah.
Going out, interesting then, not unusual strategy or tactics from Gladiator, starting a little bit late on the committee boat of the end of the line and going to the right. Now, I'm absolutely sure that within the afterguard and the Gladiator that Kie Para, even though he's a helmsman, will be working in terms of making choices with Victor Diaz de Leon, and they're looking quite good on that right side.
Yeah, I mean, when you start that late and then you want to get the right, you know, you tack early, you just tack around the committee boat and commit yourself to the right hand side, and it can work out well if we have a situation like in the first race where the breeze was going right all the time.
But look at that, it's really, really close and compact with that group there. We can see bow number 5 is Sled. They have Platoon Aviation just below them, and Platoon trying to just climb up and maybe hurt Sled a little bit. Sled tacking off to clear. Platoon Aviation who really have got the wheels on the bus moving very nicely there, Timmy, aren't they?
Yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, now they're also, apparently they all want to get to the right side at some stage, you know, or early as possible. So once the pass is cleared, I mean, like Platoon, they've tacked now, they're also going to the right hand side. And yeah, I mean, they're good position, they're well positioned right now. They got off the blocks perfectly. And it depends now on the situation how much leverage the boats on the very right side are getting, or if the pressure field is the same. Then it looks really good for Platoon and for No Way Back.
Great on the drone shots. The drone shots really show the pressure band. For me, a little bit more pressure up to that right side. You can see it on the water on this left side with Crioula. Crioula going fast, but sailing quite deep, really, sailing quick. And Trinity Racing come this side as well.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there was a big log jam at the committee boat at the start, so Ed Baird probably has decided as well to get out of there and rather start on the middle of the line, was it basically. They weren't really all the way down at the pin, but still they've been on the on the left side of the course. So it's all touch and go. It's all depending on the pressure. And if we look at the drone shot now, it looks a little bit more pressure to the right-hand side. It's of course also the water depth, the draft, so it looks probably a little bit shallower here. So this is just the water color, but I think it's more pressure on the right-hand side.
For sure for me, but Gladiator have got away quite nicely. They're furthest out to the right. And just in terms of the geography, then you might expect the starboard lift, that's to say on the other side, once they tack. Platoon Aviation slightly more conservative in terms of positioning, but they've got good pressure. They have No Way Back to leeward. On board then we can see the rain jackets are on for Victor Diaz de Leon and Kie Para.
Yeah, it will be all
Trinity Racing just getting bounced around. They're having to clear their air now. But we can see that actually quite deep in the early stages of this race are Alkedo, Vitamina. So they were really ready to challenge for the lead. We were only 3 points behind Sled, but at the moment in this race they are way down in 13th place, but 170 metres off the lead. So they have work to do. But in terms of the podium, Prevezza were third overall going into this race. Nearest challenges and they're 8th. But this positions, placings changing all the time, Timmy, going up this beat.
It's all early stages, and to be honest, you know, the boats like Gladiator, they have committed themselves to the right-hand side, and they basically wish for the best or hope for the best, because if it didn't work out, but right now it looks pretty good for Gladiator, to be honest.
Vayu over there, and as the other boat, I'm not sure, Alpha Plus is, I think, furthest to that right side just now as well. Gladiator and Caballo Loco, Paprec all on the right. Very busy, very close in the middle of the fleet. Wonder whether we can see any of the boats making gains from that left by virtue of sailing clear lanes and in decent pressure.
Yeah, it's a bit crowded on the right-hand side because everybody realized that the breeze is rather right. So then it gets crowded, but then there are no clear lanes, and the boats, they then intimidate each other again, and that's the downside of it.
On board with the Gladiator there momentarily, they have on board with the Platoon Aviation momentarily, you can see Sled just allured off them, working hard to maintain their height, keep the speed up. Armbler Spear, the owner-driver, Vasco Vascotto. Victor Mourinho doing the runners, giving information to Vasco and Jordi Calafat as he sees it. But interesting, the left certainly according to the tracker, distance to the windward mark is favouring the Crioula and Prevezza on this left side. On the right, no way back, have got a slightly stronger position.
Yeah, it's really, and it's touch and go. You know, it changes so quickly on the tracker as well because of the pressure differences, and with the pressure differences, the shift. So and now we have also a massive separation between the boats on the left-hand side of the course, Prevezza and Crioula, and the boats on the right-hand side like Gladiator, Paprec, and Vayu. So it really will be interesting how this pans out. It goes back and forth. Quite exciting to watch.
In fact, we now have 16 knots of breeze. Not looking like that, but it's quite grey. On board with Alkedo, Vitamina, they have work to do, but anything can happen on this upwind. Just looking at the tracker, liking the position that No Way Back are in. Not really exposed to low risk position in terms of not taking up a flank or the left or the right. Crioula good for just now. Alpha Plus going from top 3, top 4 to 12th, but
yeah, it's the leverage.
Whether this lefty, or such as it is, whether the pressure maintains on the left is going to be interesting. But everything to play for. Celia, what are you seeing on your side of the course?
Yeah, we are on the left side of the course. We have really committed. It is looking a bit softer here up towards the upwind mark. Now there is a big gust coming down. It's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to affect Crioula, who is now just playing the side, tacking on the shifts, trying to make the best out of their choice. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the decisions are going to be as we come to the upwind mark.
So on board with the Prevezza, choice is made by Santi Lang and Kie Para, put their faith in the left. Interesting, they were left in the previous race and they really came unstuck, and they're going back to the left. What does that tell you?
Well, try harder.
Try harder. No, they certainly have confidence in their game plan, and they've gone for it. But you have to, don't you, in this fleet? You can't afford to say play the percentages up the middle of the course and hope to come out.
No,
in front.
that is too hard, because normally in the middle, if you get close to the mark in the middle, it gets very, very crowded, and then you lose boats left and right. So once you're committed, and hope for the best is the wrong word for that, but it's just these conditions are demanding. They're very complicated conditions, and it can go your way, but it can also go the other way, unfortunately.
Interesting anyway. Privezza and Crioula. New Privezza and old Privezza side by side. Can they be round the top mark first?
It's interesting to see.
But it's amazing. I mean, if you look at the difference between Privezza, or certainly on the tracker, if you look at the tracker and see the difference between Privezza and Teasing machine, one's second and one's 11th, and that the majority of the fleet is in that distance, compacted between where Privezza are and Teasing machine.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fascinating. Another argy-bargy coming around the top mark.
Yeah, it really goes back and forth. So the pressure differences, and then you get more pressure, you got a little bit of lift, and now we see that Gladiator coming out just behind Platoon, crossing towards the left-hand side of the course. I mean, they were leading at times, it's really gone back and forth.
But I don't know whether the breeze is oscillating or whether these are bigger shifts caused by what's happening with the pressure on the land. But Pat Brett coming back on starboard. For me, at the moment, No Way Back looking really good. Should be able to cross Paprec. Looking good for No Way Back at the moment, Timmy, aren't they?
Yeah. They're crossing, but I think they might go with them. They might go with them. Maybe they tack on them, but it's hard to see from this distance. Right now, they just keep going. No Way Back, just keep going.
Fantastic. They've got the magic touch at the moment. But a quick response to one of her questions from the internet, or from our social media channels. Pierson 1248 asked, Paolo Ferrarasi 5327. Can you clarify the difference between a header and pressure? Pressure is a general reference to the wind strength. So if you say the pressure is rising, the wind is rising, pressure is dropping, the wind is dropping. And a header, Timmy, explain.
Well, a header is when you have to bear away, basically. When you have to
keep it simple. If a header,
you are heading down, basically.
Yeah, you have to bring the bow down because the wind is changed.
The wind changing, you have to bring the boat down, and the comparison to a header is a lift. Then you being lifted, basically. You're going closer to the wind. The bow is coming up.
That's right, lovely. So we have keep the questions coming. Keep them simple. But we're going to really work hard at this over the course of the season, because we know we have many fans watching, and not everybody understands the fine geekery, the fine detail of this racing.
Well, the thing is that these boats, they are so fine-tuned, and they are upwind. They are sailing so close to the edge of the wind, basically, that a couple of degrees that are enforced by either the wind turning, and then you have a header or a lift, or the pressure, and with the pressure going down, you have to go down, you have to take your bow down also, and bear away to keep the acceleration. So this is what we're seeing here, how these boats wiggle along across the course. So it can be both. It can be a wind shift, where the wind is changing its direction, or it can be the pressure that is related to it, and then you have to change course as well,
just to keep your pace. Keep your pace to build some acceleration.
Yeah.
As you're saying all the time, It's about keeping the pressure not just in the sails, but keeping the boat moving forwards to maintain the power over the keel, or the movement over the keel, which gives you your lift. And that's most of or half the dynamics are not just the sail and the sail shape, it's also the keel shape and the bulb shape. It's all about machine working in perfect harmony. In the meantime, Crioula and Provezza first and second as we start to approach this windward mark. Now then, Crioula look to be clear. They should be able to come in on port and get round there to me. Maybe not so much for Provezza. If we can see some live images, we'll get a much clearer picture. Well, there you go. That's Crioula first. And then we should see Provezza in a few seconds. But
yeah, those guys from the right, they have now tacked on ley line. They're coming now.
They're actually looking a little bit high, aren't they?
They look a bit high, yes. And now you have Provezza here, and they're attacking about now. And then Crioula comes into the picture. And but also Provezza is
nicely positioned.
Yeah, nicely positioned. No one is attacking them. But it's great for Crioula, eh? Wonderful. They played the left side and got through.
But look how right the breeze is as these boats are stacking up coming into the windward mark.
Yeah.
Provezza holding Sled up. All credit to Sled back in the top 3, top 4 coming around this top mark. But clearly breeze is quite right. And let's see how that plays out. We should go for an early jibe at least. Maybe a jibe set. Or let's see, but we'll get to that in due course. But it's Crioula round first, Provezza bouncing back after that disappointing previous race. Actually, Allegra coming round nicely in third. Then Sled in fourth, overlapped with No Way Back. Inside No Way Back is Platoon Aviation. Then Trinity Racing, all coming in slightly eased to the mark. Then Trinity, as I say, next. Inside them is a Teasing Machine, overlapped on the outside with Paprec, I think. Indeed, Paprec.
Yeah, Paprec together them.
Round ahead, then there comes Vayu and Alkedo coming in low on the mark, having to push right up. Gladiator, we saw Gladiator in the lead of the at one stage in the upwind, but ending up coming around. So all to play for. Alpha Plus also were so good in the last race, now in 13th and round in 14th. Still waiting to see who it is, but fascinating upwind. The two orange boats, two Vrolic boats, first and second.
And jibe setting there, because the breeze seems to be, it's interesting, you know, the breeze seems to be right from direction, but obviously there was more pressure on the left. Otherwise they wouldn't have come through.
Indeed.
It's quite interesting. It's really very, very complicated situations here with the breeze right now as it is coming over the land, basically into the Palma Bay, across the airport, and basically across all the high land on the island.
Right, I mean, obviously in an offshore breeze like this, the breeze is affected by the topography, the buildings, the hills, all these geographical features. And we're looking at Allegra then coming downwind, second just now, or second/third, having a much better race at the moment. They need to make it stick. Again, just reiterating, a new afterguard. Well split to the right, Timmy.
Yeah. It's a pretty hard split, and
you don't want to see that number 4 dropping, do you? But no. It is, isn't it? Just
it's really, I mean, the whole bunch has more or less jibe set it. So basically, went to the right-hand side of the course. And now Crioula basically leading the fleet. They have jibe now as well.
But that's amazing, isn't it? We're just having a quick look at the projected points table just now. Sled, Provezza, Crioula. We were just talking about, Crioula obviously pulled the rabbit out of the hat on that upwind going left, but we were talking about them in the previous race, really quietly consistent in the middle of the fleet. If they can hold on to the top 3 position, they could get themselves onto the podium overnight. But everything getting a little bit more compact at the top of the table. Platoon Aviation in 4th. Alkedo Vitamina struggling in this race. But there we go. First downwind, second race of the day, race 6 of the Puerto 50 Super Series sailing week. Great racing to me, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. And it's all, the middle of the fleet, they're all so close to each other. So the first boats they have gone, or Crioula has gone, but the other boats, they're just so close together. So there's everything in it, really. There's a lot can happen. And as we saw before, those upwinds, they are quite complicated. If you're in the right spot, yes, you make it through. But, it cannot always go your way. So it's a tricky thing.
It is. But the breeze, in theory, should strengthen and become more consistent in direction as you get away from the land, shouldn't we, coming down this?
Yes, if we're sailing further out there, it should become a bit more consistent and close to the top mark. The further you come to the land, the more complicated it gets, and that is the tricky part of it, to be honest.
But besides everything else, I'm really loving a Crioula Provezza battle.
Yeah, the 2 frolic boats fighting.
The 2 frolic boats, and it's the older boat in front. It's what is it? 2 years now. Since, in fact, 2 years almost probably to the week since the guys took on the old Provezza, the Crioula team. They picked the boat up after Palma Vela 2 years ago. The Provezza team said goodbye to this Provezza, now Crioula, at the end of Palma Vela. They handed the boat over then. They did a little bit of tuning and testing with some of the Provezza guys, and ever since then it's been Crioula. Provezza was then this boat, Provezza 11 I think it is, isn't it, was launched in August that year. They did a couple of regattas and then they did a full year last year. But both boats going well in these downwind conditions.
Yeah.
But once again, remembering that Crioula, as indeed Caballo Loco, Crioula have done a lot of racing on their other 52 back home in Brazil.
But it's pretty
so they're sharp, they're race prepared, they're race tuned.
The cool thing, what we see now, is that they have got away from Provezza quite substantially on this downwind.
Talk to me about their jibe on this. They're pretty smooth, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty smooth. Also like a late main jibe, what you do, because you want to get as much downwind as possible. So you jibe the kite through, you set the kite on the new side, and then you bring the main across. This is normally the style, like in consistent breeze like this, how you want to jibe.
I'm not really super au fait with the who's who on the on board a Crioula, but I know that some of the guys go way back. In fact, both the Brazilian boats, some of the guys go way back to 2014 when Eduardo de Souza Ramos bought the first 52 TP52 and raced on the circuit on the original Phoenix, and some of them raced on that boat. Some of them raced on Mr. De Souza Ramos's second boat, which is of course Onda. And I was just reminded the other day that tactician on the first Phoenix with Eduardo De Souza Ramos was Santi Lang. And so it's a small world.
It all goes round in circles.
And there you go, Santi racing some of the Brazilian guys. A little bit of an Argentina-Brazilian South American battle in some respects coming down here.
Yeah, the interesting thing to see is that Crioula, they didn't jibe set at the top mark straight away. They sailed onto the upwind left-hand side and jibed quite late together or with the fleet to go paralleling the fleet. And they have stretched away from them, whereas Provezza has jibe set and they have lost a little bit really to like Allegra, for example, and it's quite a surprise. And I would think it's more pressure on this left-hand side. So they saw the shift up there, and they said, okay, we have to jibe because the wind is on the right. The wind is right, but maybe less pressure. And Crioula have just, basically barged on more pressure and sailed away from them.
But so important to me for every team to have a high point in the season. You know, I'm not saying this is going to be their only race win, but to have a race win this early in the season for a team that is maybe not used to is so important in terms of the work, the investment from the owners, and it just gives them confidence to go and do their own thing.
Well, absolutely, and especially what we said before. You know, the point is that you can see that every boat of these highly tuned machines can win a race. I mean, Crioula hasn't won yet, and we are not into talking about race wins when it's not finished.
No, of course not.
But in general terms, you know, this is so cool to see that these boats, they're on such a high level, and that makes the TP Super Series so fantastic that anybody can have a race win. So it's great.
Indeed, just watching Crioula going back upwind, converging with sled. Certainly, just talking about the legacy, the history of the 52s with the Brazil. Sam Albrecht is the tactician on board Crioula. I think he's done 3 Olympics, 470, NACRA 17 for 17. And but Ricardo Costa is the navigator on Crioula, and he has been on all of the.
Here we have a bad drop.
Small problem with the kite drop, a manual drop for Allegra. That's what happens to me, isn't it? When
it looks like the
downline has not worked or something happened.
Something like that, and I think the kite is shredded by now because it's on the wrong side. Part of it is on the wrong side of the bowsprit, and the other part is, I guess, it's got a hole. But they've got another one. Don't worry about it.
They've got another one, but this has cost them relative to sled, even though they've got the position, and it's slowed them right down. They need to get that sorted out as quickly as possible. But things were going really well for Allegra, and at the moment it's Mamu Caputo out on the bow trying to sort that mess out. Losing ground to sled, but everything changing coming round this leeward gate. It's Crioula, Allegra, sled, Provezza in 4th, and sled have got themselves through Provezza. No Way back in 5th, Platoon Aviation 6th, Gladiator 7th, Trinity Racing 8th. Really, but the boats going round in quick succession. Teasing Machine 9th, 10th is Paprec Alpha Plus 11th. And there we're seeing Alkedo Vitamina coming in late to the leeward gate, got a very early kite drop. So they're after that double bullet day yesterday for Alkedo Vitamina.
Yeah, we also have a split up wind now. So basically, Provezza that found their luck on the left-hand side. They have gone now to the right-hand side. So that'll be interesting to see. Crioula still committed to the left-hand side of the course. So it will be interesting to see how this pans out, how this develops now.
Indeed. Interesting to watch. Celia, how are things on the water? What are you seeing coming up this second beat?
Yeah, we got a real split developing across the fleet on this upwind. Like now, Crioula really seems to like the left-hand side because they're going back there now. It has generally looked stronger, though, throughout the most of the day, especially with these pressure lines funneling down across the course. But the breeze is still shifting around quite a lot, so now it becomes a really important tactical moment in the race, whether the boat staying left continue to benefit from that stronger pressure, or if the boat going on the right side might find a pressure belt. It is looking rather light over there now, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see how they end up when they cross back.
Indeed, let's see how that plays out. But Crioula, they look quite strong on the left, just looking at their track on the 3D animation. That they seem to be in a decent breeze. Certainly no evidence of a header there, Timmy, is there?
No, not really. I mean, they're just going straight. So there's hardly any wiggle, and it's nice to see.
The battle really is between Pravetsa and Sled for second and third. No way back, having a better race in fourth. But Celia, do you feel this breeze is a little more settled now that the darkest clouds have gone?
It does certainly look like that. It is looking a bit more stable now than it was in the first upwind of the first race. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things are developing.
What do you think, Timmy, in terms of the cloud cover we're seeing now? The big, angry, dark clouds seem to have dissipated.
Yeah, they're
gone somewhere else, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. They're not there anymore right now. So that can be a good sign in terms of stability, and also, you know, pressure stability. So the breeze probably remains across the race course in a similar range, and I hope it's going to be like that. But it's so hard to predict, and these clouds, they sometimes destroy everything.
They do, but it's a little bit more even cloud cover for the moment.
Yeah, it looks like it has lifted, you know, like the clouds were hanging lower. That's what my impression is.
Anyway, we're in race 6. It's Crioula on course for the moment. Boat is owned by Eduardo, and Renato Plaza. Eduardo drives the boat. I mean, fantastic for him. You know, again, the little comparison, if you like, when you've got Crioula racing against an owner driver like on Crioula, ahead of an Olympic bronze medalist, John Cutler, match racing world champion, America's Cup sailor, America's Cup helm on Pravetsa. So too pro driver on the sled at the moment, Adam Bichot. But that really adds to your enjoyment of the sport, adds to your satisfaction if you are good enough to win a race.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is something, you know, like as a you know, Corinthian or basically owner driver, you can go head to head with these guys. I mean, in which sport besides sailing can you do that? You know,
no, completely. I mean, that's what's unique, or almost unique, about 52 Super Series is you can do that in the middle of your team. You can lead your team, and it's not one design. You have the latitude to make your own design and tuning and optimization. You've got to all these little things that you can choose yourself with your team. We have so many different owners, and they take so many different approaches. Some owners, Timmy, are really, really hands-off, and some of them really want to micromanage everything.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But interesting to see, like Crioula, they're sailing on their own here, a fantastic race in terms of the shifts. If we look at the tracker we've got here, then you can really see that every shift they were just hitting properly, and they are sailing away from the other guys because of course, you know, like when you're in the bunch, when you're together with a pack, even if you'd like to tag, you cannot because then you will be covered by another boat. But Crioula being ahead, they check on the shifts and they play the shifts right now.
Generally some kind of left-hander in the breeze. I'm just watching how Prevets are ending up. You know, in the last round they were head-to-head with Crioula. At the moment now they're down to 6th. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean they were biting the bullet basically. They were sailing across to the right-hand side on a header basically. So bow down, and they couldn't tag because sled was already in their way. So they had to wait till they have passed that bad air of sled, and then they could tag back. So it's costly, you know. It's a situation like that, you pay for that dearly.
In the meantime, super consistent sled now leading the regatta. Prevets will be second afterwards. I think an emotionally draining day for the Prevets team as much as anyone today. But as always, to me, the regatta's one thing. Everybody really is focused on the season. It's you know, Terry always tells us it's a marathon, not a sprint, and every race counts, and you need to just focus on making the less good results slightly better, and not getting too upset with the big scores when they do happen, because it will even out if you're consistent over the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just have to take it race by race, and even if you fall down the stairs, you got to go back up again.
Indeed, get back on the horse, as you were saying.
Exactly, get back on the horse.
But there's so little in it in terms of distance on the water.
Yeah,
you can look at there. You can look at Alkedo Vitamina there, who are 14th, and bow number 2, Platoon Aviation. Platoon Aviation 4th in the fleet in this race, and they're in the same picture. There's only a matter of a few meters, maybe 50, 60 meters between Alkedo Vitamina and Platoon Aviation, and yet they've got 80 or 90% of the fleet between them. That's how close it is in this. And Joachim Sundberger, a young new owner driver, is learning race by race, day by day, what it is to be racing in the world's leading Grand Prix Monohull circuit. And I can tell you one thing, he's absolutely loving it. big investment for him. You know, it doesn't. A program like his doesn't come cheaply to me, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, of course, it costs a lot of money, but other sports do cost a lot of money as well. But the thing is, what you can get out of it as an owner driver, you personally, you know, it's not like you own a soccer team and you sit in the lounge and watch these guys playing.
You're on the pitch.
Well, here you are. You've got the tiller in your hand and off you go. I mean, this is a lot cooler, I must say.
And more to the point, you're at the centre of the team and you're responsible much more for the performance of the boat than being a soccer manager or a director of a soccer club or whatever it is, rugby. You're part of the team, and you really hold the reins in terms of responsibility.
And you compete against the best guys in the business, against the best guys in the world.
I mean, it's fantastic. You know, you talk to somebody like Tony Langley, who's done this. He was one of our original owners, and you know, if you said to Tony it has to be only owner drivers in the fleet, then he's not interested, because he wants to race against the best in the world, and measure himself. And so many of our owners are the same. They'd rather come second on the day to an Ed Baird or Dean Barker or whoever, than just be a big fish in a small pond, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, but that makes them so competitive, and that's why they love the challenge. Those owners that are here, they are all more or less out of the same mold, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all high achievers in their own line of business, whatever that is. That's how you get here, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Anyway, Crioula then, unstoppable.
Very nicely played the shifts, I must say. Head off to them. Well done. But of course, if you are ahead, it's a little bit easier, but still you have to do it.
You have to do it, but I mean, all credit to them so far. The battle between Sled and Allegra, I wonder how that's going to play out. That kite problem for Allegra, I think, cost them a few boat lengths against Sled, particularly in terms of positioning. Timmy coming round that leeward mark.
Yeah, it's
always... They just didn't need that problem at that time, because really what they needed to have done were have the capacity to close the door on Sled, and they ended up losing a few degrees and letting Sled inside them. Now, whether they can pull that back down this final run is going to be part of the excitement and the drama as we close out race number 6 here in Puerto Portal's 52 Super Series Sailing Week. We're very much in the second half of the regatta. And I think, Timmy, as much as anything, if we get race 2 done and dusted and the rain comes, then put your jacket on. We've had a great day.
I stay inside. No, but it's great. If we get this race properly across the finish for all the boats, what I guess will happen, because it's just another 20 minutes, I think is wonderful. I mean, well done starting an hour earlier and getting it all sorted under these really difficult conditions.
Here's a few other little questions or observations from our Internet community, our supporters out there. A question, I'm going to do this very quickly for all three of us. Timmy, what team are you supporting? That's a question from...
Well, it would be easy to say I love them all.
VIP Gucci Gang 4182 wants to know, what team are you supporting?
To be honest, I support Provezza because most of my mates, they've been on that boat.
And they're bigger than you and tell you to do that. Celia, what's your favourite team as Crioula go round the windward mark, Sled in second? What's your favourite team? Who are you supporting, Celia, quickly?
As a fellow Scandinavian, I have to go for Trinity.
Okay, and I'm saying nothing.
You say nothing. You were talking about Sled all day.
I support whoever's winning.
Everybody loves a winner.
Exactly. Anyway, there we go. Crioula comfortably clear around the top mark. Sled in second. Allegra in third. No way back. Actually, no way back behind Platoon Aviation. No way back in fifth. Provezza ending up sixth. Round the top mark. And slightly more open now. Gladiator will be seventh, with Teasing Machine behind. And then, as I say, opens out a little bit, but we should have two races done by 3 o'clock, to me.
Early knockoff. No, it's great. I mean, it's amazing to see also how the positions have been changed. You know, it's quite. Oh, here we go. That's interesting.
Interesting, but a little bit of dramatics, I think, from
Teasing Machine.
Machine.
Yeah, a little bit of Hollywood gig,
Exactly.
I'd say. You know, there would have been maybe enough space in a gentleman rounding, but they try to flag him. I guess they try to flag him. We see what's going to happen if Caballo Loco gets a penalty. Oh yeah.
Who are they getting a penalty?
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh yeah. They get a penalty.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that was you say a little bit of Hollywood on the part of the
Yeah.
French team, but it's had its net effect, and the umpires have responded.
Yeah.
However, another little interesting point with Trinity is Ed Baird. You know, very often if you have a new owner driver to the class, or even established owner drivers, they very often operate with a strategist and a tactician, and they interplay. But the strategist sometimes becomes more the helm coach, shall we say?
Yeah.
Clearly, Ed Baird is performing all the roles in that sense.
Yeah, I think, and I think he's doing that great.
I mean, incredible, because I'm just saying that because you see him.
Yeah.
He's obviously got his tactician's hat on all the time. He's watching and making decisions all the time. He's got lots of backup from on board. Guys like Ross Halcrow have done this for so long and been so successful. That's well and good. But at the end of the day, he's also coaching and telling Joachim exactly what he wants, how he wants him to come round the mark, how he wants him to come out of the mark, what he needs to be watching in terms of acceleration and angle and so on. And massive credit to Ed Baird. He's so the man for the job in that role.
Absolutely, and I mean, of course, what I like with Trinity as well, that they have the core is Scandinavian or Swedish, and that I quite like, because also in Sweden they have a lot of good guys. I mean, Johan Barne, he used to sail also as navigator on Platoon at times, and he's also one of the world-class navigators. Good guy, really good guy. And
great to see him back at this level. He's not in the first flush of youth, is he? I mean, all due respect,
no,
it's great to see him back. I'm sure he's delighted to be back and have the opportunity again to be operating the 52 Super Series. It's never easy as a navigator in any role when you get moved aside or whether you choose to leave. But
that's true.
He's such a nice, humble guy. And
but he's also very good. He's
very good. But
he's a computer geek as well. And nowadays the navigator is more like a, if you have an IT background as a navigator, that does help a lot.
Indeed. Anyway, Crioula are well clear, but Platoon Harm has taken tough decisions, made changes over the years. He had Johan, and then he had Jules Salter. Jules Salter was latterly replaced by Juan Villa, all for the right reasons you would consider from Harm's perspective. But that's never easy, is it?
No. But it's a matter of the chemistry. They all have to work together, and the way they each and everyone is talking and corresponding, and basically the way you bring the informations across, that has always worked well together, and when the chemistry is there and when the chemistry works, then you will also be successful.
But sometimes you make a change because you need a change, and it doesn't necessarily need to reflect on the ability or the performance of that one person.
No.
You see it in football, professional sport all the time, that teams make a change just to see what the impact is, and it's not necessarily the impact of or a reflection on the performance of that one person in the team. And I think certainly Harm's very much of that mindset.
No, that's very true. But it's still, the downwind is still developing in an interesting way, and Crioula is just as well and again playing the shift, jibing, covering the fleet or putting themselves in a position that they cannot be attacked by leverage in terms of other boats getting a shift and attacking them. So they're playing it really, really cool. I mean, it's very nice to see how they play the downwind and also play the shifts like they did upwind.
They look nice and relaxed.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I'm not sure which of the brothers is, but he
good on them.
Good on them. But I mean, one of the brothers in particular likes to get, as soon as the boat's parked, he gets the big fat cigar out and just relaxes, and it will be well deserved today. And I mean, a team that really enjoy each other's company.
That's the most important thing, there's a lot of quality in people in a team, in a crew. You have a lot of technical abilities and technical knowledge, but also you should not underestimate the social component as well, and that's also where the chemistry within a team, within a crew starts. It's always nicer to sail with people that like to sail with each other.
No, absolutely. A happy boat's a fast boat, that's what we always say. But again, particular credit to Sam Albrecht, who really brought this team to the 52 Super Series. Remember speaking to him about 3 years ago. Missed out in the 2012 Olympics, went in 2008 in the 470, went to Rio in the Nacra 17, and went to 2020 Olympics in the Tokyo, or 2021 Olympics also in the Nacra 17.
Yeah, Crioula in their final approach. We can see the bottom mark there. The mark, maybe they do a dial down to go through it. Probably a little bit above ley line, but they're on their final approach towards the finish. And I think they can be very happy with what they have achieved today in the second race.
So this will be the first win for Crioula since Valencia in 2024 on the 27th of September, the penultimate day of the season in 2024. Their first year was the first time they won a race. They're the only team last year not to win a race. So big day for the Brazilian team. And nice to get it won under the belt so early in the season. It's only day 3 of the 2026 season. So they have the monkey off their back in that respect, don't they?
Yeah, they have one jibe and in. That's what they have to do. And again, late main jibe. The main stays. And yeah, okay. Maybe came a bit early.
They're getting tired.
Maybe got the main across a bit early, but that's fine. That's fine. You know, good on them.
I think
they'll bring it home anyways.
Anyway, will be a second for sled, I think, and the second should take sled to the top of the regatta standings. Not entirely unexpected given their credentials and everything else. So Crioula then, the team from Brazil, joined the circuit in 2024. I think it's still only their second win of the circuit. So they're entitled to the high fives and handshakes, and really, hopefully that sets the standard for future races. But it's a great relief for them. Every team works hard on this circuit, and the reward like this tastes super sweet. Anyway, sled I think will come through for second. A big gap though in the end, Timmy.
Well, yes, and I think Crioula they were also downwind playing the shifts properly.
Yeah.
Looking at the fleet, yes, but also playing the shifts properly. And that gives you a little bit of jump as well. You know, it gives you the gain because with a proper shift, you sail the shorter distance and you make it into the finish line a bit quicker. But sled also nice and consistent. They also sailed a nice race, I must say.
Got great chemistry between Francesco Bruni and Murray Jones.
Ooh, and Platoon coming in. Wow.
Platoon might get a third.
Yes.
That would keep the...
yes.
Allegra have got the kite in the water. They might not be able to get through the finish line like that. They might miss the line. They're going to have to just...
Oh, my
God almighty, that is not good.
No, touching the mark is not good either.
And caught the mark.
And the mark went...
and there's a robot mark in the...
It's not so much robot anymore because the bloody... the engine fell through.
No, the engine's still there, but...
yeah, but it fell through, so they have to
I don't know.
write it again.
I hope it's connected, but otherwise I think the finish line is drifting. But that really was...
oh, God.
One for the record books, but I don't
Definitely.
know. Anyway, Allegra.
Oh, but Gladiator, yep. And
so all credit though to Platoon Aviation for getting that third, no way back, getting
yes,
fourth.
very done, very well done, Harm and the team, and that's just great. You know, I have the impression they're fighting a little bit more. How shall I say, calmer.
Yeah, on the same page of the book rather than fighting each other. But
exactly.
I think that it's a much more settled team. But there we go, great shots of the robot mark, which is not so much robot as just drifting itself. I'm pretty sure that Maria will have put a boat in the end of the line. That's the first time we've seen that with the
that was a new
experience. Day 3 of 52 Super Series capsized the robot mark. Every day is a school day, isn't it?
Yeah, somehow it is.
Anyway, here comes Teasing Machine through the line. A pretty good day in terms of
Yes.
averages for them.
Yes.
Eighth and first, 4.5 points. Or you'd be happy with that. If it doesn't matter how they come. To me, it's just about the average, isn't it?
It is about the average, exactly. I mean, it's just at the end, we're counting it all together.
Trinity Racing through now for eighth. Now then, interesting, we've got Caballo Loco jibing inside wing and wing, Timmy. And just they're just squeezing through. They've got another boat through to windward, but
well done, well done.
Caballo Loco will get there, but Alpha Plus will get through ahead of Paprec. Paprec is so close all the way through the fleet, and then a little bit of a gap after that. But hearts beating harder aboard these three boats coming through the finish line. Probably not quite as hard as the Hearts and the Allegra. Talk us through that, Timmy. What do you think was going on? What happened? Did they lost the kite halyard, or was that? I
think they lost the kite halyard because it was not meant to be like that.
No.
I mean, it's just that the kite just fell down. So it was entire human error, unfortunately. Kite fell down, and then
super close.
Close as well.
Vayu would just get there, I think, ahead of.
Yeah, probably.
Alkedo Vitamina, tough day for them. It's so often happens, doesn't it? A day with 2 victories is followed by a visit to the basement.
The finishes we've seen now, they've been all very close. They bunched up
you
close.
Just can't afford to give an inch. And there you go. That will be a 14th, I think, for Alkedo Vitamina.
Yeah.
So how will that affect Allegra's finish? Will they finish cleanly, or what's the rule on that? You can't hit the finish line.
No, you can't. You can't touch the mark. It's you've touched the mark. It's no good.
So wait and see what
we'll wait and see what the umpires say, because they've seen that. So I don't know. We have to wait for the outcome. But we have never seen, or I have never seen, and you have never seen, a capsized robo mark. That is something new.
Something new. We've seen, or we can see in one of our other shots, that the mark boat has been in attendance. I think we should be able to get some replays of that particular incident, but let's wait and see. But a great day of racing, Timmy, all in all. We got away with 2 races done and dusted, and it's only 20 to 23 local time here in the Bay of Palma. We're waiting for the rain to arrive, but a great day of racing. Good win there for Crioula, wasn't it?
Yeah, wonderful. And also, I mean, the way they've been sailing, playing the shifts upwind, playing the shifts downwind, that was nice to see. I mean, that was wonderful sailing, and they just stretched from the pack more and more. So again, any boat can win here.
But I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but no. But I mean, they won one of the practice races. They were consistent during Palma Vela. I think they were second over at Palma Vela.
Yeah.
So it's not come out of nowhere.
No.
Yes, they got to the left side of what became the favoured side, and they were very much following their own strategy in that respect. But they have been performing significantly better than last year, and that's a very, very well deserved win for them. But in other news, Sled, I mean, as consistent as we expect of them, and now at the top of the table.
Yeah. I mean, they would be even higher on the top of the table without that incident with Paprec yesterday. It's a couple of points more.
I mean, the great thing I think about that team in particular is they're so experienced. Let's say that they won't be really fazed by that particular incident. They didn't lose their proverbial because of it.
No.
They came ashore with the smiles on their faces. There wasn't a lot they could have done other than being a little bit further away from Paprec. Other teams, they might have expected them to get a little bit more latitude in that particular situation, but the best is yet to come, I think, from the sled team.
Absolutely. I mean, the likes of Don Cowie, Murray Jones, Adam Bichel, I mean, they've been through a lot of stuff already. They have said a lot, and they wouldn't be faced by a situation like that.
And
Great to see.
what about it's been a real up and down day, in so many respects. Preveza up and down, but in the end averaging out okay, and they're still in the fight for the regatta. Alkedo, Vitamina, again, too many downs, not enough ups today.
No, it's true. I mean, Alkedo was really good after this early start to recover, in the first race. They came back and they were hanging in there, but then now a 14th in this last race. It's a bit of a shame. But sometimes, sometimes you get through, and sometimes you have also a lane to recover. But on another day or in another race, you don't have these abilities, and you stay where you are.
Indeed. Now, looking at let's kind of talk about the form book, if you like, going ahead from here, looking at the season. Besides sled, who's impressive, or who's impressing you in terms of consistency?
Well, I mean,
there are so many teams at the same level. It's not like before, where there was the hierarchy. You had Quantum Racing, you had Azura, you had Ran Racing, whatever, sled.
Well,
it's so open, isn't it?
It is very open, and you cannot even pick one particular boat and say, okay, these guys, But I know from the talks I had with the guys that most of them, like guys like John Cutler, they have exactly this mindset that they say, okay, it's 50 races over the season, so let's just hang in there, and if we score 5th place, then we're just happy, we're good. So this is a kind of a mindset where you're not, how shall I say, I mean, you're not over-exaggerated and keen for every day winning the race, so therefore it's a little bit like that.
Anyway, Takashi Akura's sled team, a 9-point lead going into the second half of the regatta. 2 days still to go. Preveza on 34, same as Platoon Aviation. There you go, Platoon Aviation up on the podium for the moment. They're only 1 point clear of Crioula, who in turn are 1 point clear of Gladiator, who in turn are 2 points clear of No Way Back. Alkedo Vitamina then 20-point day. I mean, that is the essence of inconsistency, unfortunately. 2 9ths, 2 firsts, a 6th and a 14th. So they would really like to iron out the peaks and troughs. Trinity Racing in 8th at the moment, 45 points. Alpha Plus 46 points on 9th. Vayu 55 on 10th place. 11th place, 57 points for Paprec. Allegro in 58. Teasing Machine 60, and Caballo Loco on 70 points. Timmy, the weather for tomorrow, any clues, any ideas? Just in terms of the general pattern, are we starting to move into sunshine and sea breezes? Please tell me yes.
I think we are. I think Friday was the day where the weather should come back, should become nice again. The forecast for the next day is light and gentle southeast gradient.
But sunshine?
Partly cloudy. But partly cloudy
means a lot of sun.
Means also sun. So it's okay. It's okay.
Come on, the glass is half full, Timmy. Anyway, a great day on the water here at Puerto Portal's 52 Super Series. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, Celia, on the water. Join us again tomorrow. We should, I think, probably back to a 1 o'clock start, but do keep an eye on our social media channels, and we'll see you again tomorrow, same time in the same place.
Energy. energy.
At Palm Beach Motor Yachts, we build for those who lead. This comes from our history in competitive ocean racing, where advanced technologies and a spirit to win shape our every advantage on the water. We carry those lessons into every motor yacht that we design and build, using efficient and balanced hulls to deliver performance that feels effortless. Paired with meticulous craftsmanship and engineering, it creates a quiet confidence you can sense the moment you take the helm. Palm Beach Motor Yachts, from ocean racing innovation to cruising perfection.
Contemplating all my time. My thoughts make me tired, just running through my mind. Wonder if there's peace that I can find, instead of always being on the grind. I need a new purpose, I'm looking for so much more. Don't leave me here searching, you're just what I'm longing for. When times are getting crazy and everything seems hazy, is there some place for safety I can go? Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away, you're never too far to run. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away, run away. It gets so loud that I can barely hear. But your words speak much louder than all my fears. Sometimes I just wanna disappear, running until I can feel you near. I need a new purpose, I'm looking for so much more. Don't leave me here searching, you're just what I'm longing for. When times are getting crazy and everything seems hazy, is there some place for safety I could go?